Godzilla in Hell isn't even close towards being the strongest version of Godzilla, and people miss the point of it entirely. Reddit by Loras Stau Rokono. Discussion. I know the title alone will make a few people get upset over it, but I legitimately cannot take it any longer on how much people generally believe that Godzilla in Hell is somehow this ultraversal, dimensional, transcending non-dual being. In the comic, he isn't even close to its being even a halfway decent Godzilla. Issue number 1. People don't even know the proper Hell Godzilla. Firstly, the reason I want to make this post in the first place is because people are calling this Godzilla the strongest version of Godzilla without even knowing a single thing about it. From TikToks, Twitter, Reddit, and battleboarding site, I've seen this picture of Hell Godzilla being used. Wanna know what something funny? This isn't Godzilla. This is just a doppelganger meant to torment Godzilla and actually give him a scare and a challenge to Godzilla. These are unironically a few people who have read the comics, believe it or not. Issue number 2. How strong is Godzilla in Hell? Not very much. Especially not the level he claims to be. Believe it or not, Godzilla dies in this comics a lot. Especially in the 4th issue, where he is trapped in a never-ending battle with King Ghidorah and Destroyer, and he kept getting his ass handed to them. He is seen struggling throughout the comic, always nearing collapse, but enduring on, with his goals to escape hell. He is at no point, aside from issue number 3, ever seen bulldozering through anything. He is constantly pulling through a hair strand. He is enduring and struggling, and continuing on, but is slowly taking a toll on Godzilla. Issue number 3. Issue 3. Believe it or not, the entire problem and myth stems from this one issue, and the author of said issue. I'll tackle this on the next issue. This issue not only breaks the community continuity of the comic entirely, it breaks the immersion, the main theme, the message the rest of the comic brings. The entire debacle on Hell, Godzilla being the strongest, stems from the fact that the author claims that this being is the ultimate creator and then that Godzilla then killed it, which is actually just a bunch of shit. This is never stated to be the creator in any capacity. He only referred to as a peacekeeper. Not only this, but never does Godzilla ever actually do anything to him. The fact Godzilla was actually blown the F away from this thing. He also doesn't destroy the God Mountain. He simply destroys a portal that leads from hell to the God Mountain place, which is supposedly heaven, meaning he did nothing and this issue was for nothing. Issue number 4. The Writers. As previously said, Godzilla in Hell has really only one impressive feat that is considerable, which is located in issue number 3. But hey, the author of this comic has said that Godzilla killed the God Mountain and Satan, who are multiversal, dual and transcendental beings, right? Here's the sad thing about it though. There's 5 different writers for this comic. Every issue has its different narrative and tone, but they'll all have the same theme of Godzilla being trapped in hell. Because one author claims one thing, it doesn't mean it applies to every issue. There wasn't one main director. This was a collaborative work of the artists under IDW Comics. Because issue 3, Godzilla just happened to be a god-stopping badass It doesn't mean other issue Godzilla are going to be a god-stopping badasses, especially coming from a author's mouth with no evidence to back it up, which is an opportune time to bring the death of the author. The actual film of Godzilla in Hell. Godzilla in Hell isn't about a tale about Godzilla going Doomslayer on an army of demons and being all invincible badass. It is a tale of a monster who is rife with pride. A tale of when the king of the monsters was for once in his ancient life is terrified and humiliated out of his status. Godzilla never destroys hell. He never actually slays armies of demons and gods. He is seen wandering alone, freezing and melting to near death, screaming in agony from the hellish landscape he is striding, his ego and pride always bringing him 2 steps behind for everyone every time he takes one ahead. Once he actually acknowledges he can't climb the mountain and defeat the being in the mountain, he finally submits to the red bats and gets humbled. However, his willpower makes him get back and blast the surprise Lord of the Mountains to the smithereen. And I'll let the page just speaks for themselves. It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. Then the victory is yours. It cannot be taken from you. Godzilla finally acknowledges humility and let go of his pride. Not by angels or demons, heaven or hell would have. Which is what actually allowed Godzilla to escape hell. Godzilla in Hell was about Godzilla being a super demon slaying badass. It was about knowing humility and about how taking control of yourself is more impressive than winning thousands of battles, which in my opinion shows that Goji isn't just a dumb dinosaur, but an intelligent and wise being with eras worth of wisdom who can show himself humility. Too long didn't read? Godzilla never destroys or kills the hell or the gods. He just leaves.